Hey friends, can you look at these petunias? Are they not gorgeous? So this year I successfully started all the seeds for the landscape and the garden. I have not had to buy one single plant, and I got the entire landscape planted out and extras to share, which is really awesome, and got a few more here. So I'm going to show you the landscape and planting it up and what it looks like after planting and what it looks like a week later, which is now. Because I did it last weekend. It was such a nice weekend. So nice. But look at these. So it's just a variety. It's just a mixture of petunias. And some petunia plants have like several colors of blooms on the same plant. I just love them. They're just so pretty. Okay, look at this. And so it's a major accomplishment for me because I've never grown so many flowers. Like, it was always focused on vegetables, learning about the vegetables, starting as many as possible so I don't have to buy any from the store to fill the spaces. Like, start your own from seed. It's saved so much money. Let's go check out the landscaping. Here we are digging up the lilies in the landscaping near the front door. I planted these many years ago and I did not pay attention, but it was before I started gardening and thinking about stuff. But I just bought them from the store. I planted them, didn't pay attention to how tall they're going to get or anything like that. And I didn't put them in very good spots. And this year I'm like, I'm moving these. I'm sick of them. They're very pretty when they bloom, but their location is not where I want them to be. Since they're so tall, I want them farther back. So we planted that grouping like by the house. And we're going to move this daylily where the lilies were. So daylilies and lilies are trading spots. And I'm just going to plop them in there and cover them with dirt. And they end up doing fine. So it's all good. I figured whatever didn't make it, like, I'm not going to be overly worried about it because daylilies and lilies both multiply. So I'll have more. It's no big deal. And I wanted to move the daylilies all back towards the house, but I noticed some, I think they're gladiolus pop up, and I was like, well, I don't want to mess with those. So I planted the cosmos in that spot, and they're not going to get very much sunlight, so I'm just hoping for the best there. These here are bachelor buttons that we winter sowed in a strawberry container, and I just lined them up on the back side of the house in this flower bed area. And completely forgot to clean the house off first. The sprinklers spray the house, and that's why there's that red stuff on the house. And I have this spray you spray and then you rinse it off after it sits for a while. And now that the flowers are there, I'm not going to be able to do that. So hopefully the flowers get really tall and nobody can see the discoloration of the house, and then I'll have to be sure to clean the house off again before we plant next year. So, bachelor buttons back there, zinnias here, short zinnias. That way, I kind of want tall, medium, short kind of situation going on here. In all the areas. And yeah, just try to have a cascade height effect. And these are geraniums, I think Maverick geraniums, and they're these beautiful pink blossoms or blooms. And we're just planting these along the rocks. And I'm kind of going for symmetry here, so on each side of this bush we'll do the same thing and have the geraniums closest to the rock border. So now we're on the other side of the big bush, and we're doing a similar situation with coreopsis and black bachelor buttons. And then I do leave some of the stuff, so like these calendulas and this clover with the yellow flowers, whatever it is, just leave it so it won't be exactly the same on each side of the bush, but that's okay. Calendula are pretty, and I don't want to ruin volunteers, you know what I mean? Like, they're free. They came up voluntarily. You can stay as long as you're not in the way. And we also planted zinnias and geraniums over there too. But we're in a new section, a new flower bed, and we're just gonna plant around the rain drain thingy here and try to cover it up. Those were cosmos on the left, and then over here we're doing amaranth, and we're doing tall to short kind of thing again. So we also transplanted some Coreopsis that were in the wrong spot. We're putting in some yarrow, all kinds of things. Zinnias, Amaranth, Cosmos, Sabrina, yarrow. I can't remember what I've said, I already forgot. And then around the border, the perimeter of this flower bed, we will put shorter things like petunias and marigolds, alyssum, a few poppies. I had a few poppies germinate, so we kind of spread those out as well. On the Sweet Williams here, they were such tiny little seedlings, so I just plant them and hope for the best because they're supposed to get taller, so I'm just hoping that they reach the height that they're supposed to. Otherwise, they're not in a good spot. But if they mature like they're supposed to, then it'll be good. So we're planting the border now with we're just basically rotating. I'm trying to think of the word. So like petunia, marigold, alyssum, petunia, a poppy here and there. So just kind of mixing up the border, make the border short. And then we have lily and sedum in here that are perennials that were here before and will be for years to come. And echinacea and daisy are also in this flower bed. So we just get her planted, water everything in, and we're good to go. Now we're in the landscaping leading up to the walkway. So we planted both sides of the bushes. We planted up near the front door. And now this is the strip on the other side of the walkway. And I don't show as much of this because it's repetitive. It's the same plants between the daylily hosta pattern that we have going on here. There's volunteer calendula. There's going to be petunias, all the same kind of flowers that are short. Petunia, marigold, poppy, alyssum. Right, this flower bed is done. So we went from tall to short. And we have one Sabrina, Cosmos, zinnias, petunia, short things lining the outside. Petunia, marigold, petunia, alyssum, poppy. Yeah, all the way around. These are yellow lilies. They stay short. More Cosmos here. Daisies. Sweet William, tiny little seedlings that I hope bounce back from the transplant. Little yarrows. This is a sedum. It's a perennial. It's been here. Petunia, marigold, petunia. 2 echinacea. Coreopsis. Petunia, marigold, amaranth. This little pile of mulch needs to go to the back because it was there, but we use black mulch for everything. So I raked it out, put in black mulch, and then planted. Now these bushes are absolutely gorgeous. Look at the underside. They're so pretty. We wanted to take them out at one point because there's so many thorns. And we failed to do so. Sadly, it's not all growing back, so it kind of looks stupid here now. Ruined this, but we planted some snapdragons around them. These are perennials, so they're coming back for us. We're in a zone 5A. Coreopsis volunteers coming up through the rocks. Geraniums. Calendula that overwintered from just like self-seeded. A couple zinnias. A couple more zinnias. In the very, very back, we alternated Coreopsis and Bachelor Button. And that big Coreopsis all the way to the right, self-seeded from last year. This is a beautiful bush. It spreads like crazy. And it's always been here. Back here is similar. Geraniums right here on the edge, zinnias. And then we have Coreopsis and Bachelor Buttons intertwined. Like every other. I think Oh no, this side's different. Bachelor button all in the back and a couple coreopsis in front of them. I end up smearing mud. Okay, so you can see we have a ton of calendula that came up. So I left most of it. But if it was in the way, it got dug up. Cosmos interplanted around these lilies. We transplanted these lilies over here because they were there. And then we took that daylily from there, moved it down there. So, and then we have daylily hosta all the way around the landscaping. We'll come back around and look at this. And then we have a hosta right in there too. Carefully step. Okay, so I have some tiny little echinacea that I put back there. Probably gonna get blocked out from the sun, but if they do succeed, they will be tall, so they need to go back there. Can you see that skinny, let's see if you can see them both. Two skinny things coming up, I think are gladiolus. Like, they aren't supposed to be perennial, but I wonder if they stay warm back there. They've never actually grown much, so I was just surprised to see them. That, I don't know what it is, I left it. Calendula everywhere. The clover's actually pretty, and I don't mind it, so I left the clover. Yarrow. So we're doing the same thing where we're kind of like tall, going to shorter. Let's see, yep, so the yarrow here, those are my little seedlings, hopefully they just explode with height. Petunia, we got some trailing petunias, so petunia, 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 and if they overtake all this calendula, that's fine. I need to thin it out a little bit. We have calendula coming up between the rocks. Okay, now let's do this strip here, all the way around. Sit on this side. Okay, got our new daylily there. Petunia, a bunch of calendula over here as well that I left most of them. A petunia here. I want everything to touch, so it's gonna be very packed and touched in here. Everything's gonna touch in here, and that's good, that's fine with me. Petunia, petunia, gypsophilia, petunia, petunia, gypsophilia, petunia, marigold, that's the calendula over there. Alyssum, marigold, gypsophilia, poppy, and petunia. Petunia, poppy, petunia, petunia, a hosta that never gets big. No clue what that is, but it grew back again this year, so I just let it be. What are you again? A gypsophilia. Amazing dianthus, it's perennial, and look at it, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna have to get more of these or get some seed for them, because if they're a show like this, then I don't need any annuals. I'll just have these everywhere. They're so beautiful. I love it. So I'm waiting to see how long this beautiful show is, if it lasts all summer or if it kind of mellows out and then reblooms. But to see this pop of color all by itself is just amazing. Marigold. A Dusty Miller. We only had 2 germinate. Marigold, petunia, petunia. Another perennial dianthus. Isn't that beautiful too? Not nearly as big, but still beautiful. One lonely snapdragon. Not many of them germinated. And then the car is usually parked here. And because of the bushes and all that, we usually have to step out and walk around the car. So I didn't plant anything here like I did last year. So here's what we got. One last glimpse at that. So everything's gonna fill in and just be beautiful. I think it'll really fill in fast. All right, here we are 1 week later. Everything took to the transplant well. I don't think anything over here failed the transplant. That one daisy's not looking too happy. But it's all right. These will fill in. If something dies, something will fill in. Over here, everything's happy. I underestimated the size of these hostas. It's been 1 week, okay? 1 week. Or 8 days maybe. And look, they're already planted too close. Oh well. And we'll, if I remember, I hope, I'll include these in all the garden tours. Ah, come on, zinnias, grow. The bunnies, see, I bet you that might have been a bunny messing with stuff. Isn't this bush pretty? I don't know what it is. It was here when we moved in. But I love it. And a few snapdragons. These are perennials and they'll come back every year here. Wasn't that awesome? I am so happy with that. I'm so happy that I was able to grow my own. It's a major accomplishment for me and I'm super proud of myself. I hope your gardens are going and growing as well as mine is right now. Your vegetable gardens, your landscape, your flowers, all your gardens. So feel free to like and subscribe. I will see you later and thanks for watching. Bye.